So, Joseph, the frontman for the band Gamer Rage in EMP Pathways, here to deliver my review of Queen with Adam Lambert, the show that they just did here in Adelaide. Um, I don't have much negative to say about it. It was just fantastic. Um, it really is Queen are not just a band that gets up to perform on stage. Like they are some theatrical, weird kind of things. Like they're not most bands nowadays. You see they get up on stage, play their songs, talk to your crowd on the odd occasion, and they get off. These guys are like if they sing a song about a bicycle, then Adam Lambert is going to be on the bicycle. It's ridiculous. And I think the part where I felt the best the most was probably when Brian May said, the guitarist for Queen, he said, this is definitely a gig to remember. And I'm thinking, wow, because most artists skip over Adelaide because Adelaide is just a bad place to have music venues. Like, it's like, oh, we can't break even, or, so on and so forth. And, Queen obviously have an endless market, as we know. If you ever watched the documentary about Queen playing at Wembley Stadium and a bunch of other places where it didn't matter where they went, they just sold out stadiums. Queen are like that, and they could easily sell out a gig here in Adelaide, and they came here, and Brian May said it was a gig to remember, and that, it kind of touches your heart, because it makes you feel like you can make some kind of small impact, and just by you showing up there, and the amount of people that want to show up there, means that, at the very least, Brian didn't come to Adelaide with a negative experience. He had a positive experience when he came here. When he came here, it was definitely one for him to remember, and it was good, and it makes you feel like you had an impact, I suppose, even when these people are so famous that they have to be segregated from you and you really can't get as close as 100 feet from them or something stupid like that, unless you've got $10,000 or whatever. And yeah, it definitely inspires me to just continue to play instruments and get better at what I do, in the hopes that maybe one day I could have a budget that's big enough to actually put on really theatrical shows and, sort of do my own thing. That might be with Gamer Rage as things continue on, hopefully, but we'll see where that goes. Adam Lambert, I don't know why it's called Queen and Adam Lambert, because as far as I'm concerned, and based on all the interviews I've seen with Queen and Adam Lambert, Adam Lambert is just Queen. I mean, he's not Freddie Mercury, but you don't really want him to be. I mean, if I wanted to see a Freddie Mercury tribute show, I would go to a Freddie Mercury tribute show or something like that. Adam Lambert is Adam Lambert when he's on stage, and that's what makes Queen Queen, is essentially he's not going to be Freddie Mercury, he's going to be unique, and he's going to be his own sort of original thing. And his voice is amazing. His voice is absolutely insane. I remember I was trying to match his vibrato, and there were points where I could, and points where I simply couldn't. He either saved up more breath than me, or whatever, but his notes were high. He was just insane with his vibrato. And, Brian May on the guitar, he demonstrates what a versatile instrument the guitar actually is. The stuff he was doing with that guitar was insane. I honestly don't know what he was doing. His guitar tech obviously did a lot of the work, but, I remember at one point, I didn't even want to watch Brian. I just shut my eyes and just listened to what he was playing, because, he had his own solo at one point where he, got up on, an asteroid, because he's, an astrophysicist, and I like that because I used to be into space and to be very interested in space, so I kind of got those vibes from it. But I just shut my eyes. I didn't look at Brian. I just shut my eyes while the sort of, the really sort of slow psychedelic stuff was playing, and, just really sort of immersed myself in the experience, because it was it felt so relaxing and calm, and it was just an in-the-moment sort of thing where you could really sort of just sit there and just listen to it and just enjoy it for what it was. Because he was playing, he was coming out with some of the most beautiful, licks I've ever heard. It made it sound so ambient, and the way it sounded and it resonated off into deep space or anything like that, it was just insane. And then after that, he did his, Now I'm Here sort of intro, which, well, technically they opened with Now I'm Here, but he did his guitar solo that, when they played it at Wembley Stadium in 1986, Brian May did the Now I'm Here sort of guitar solo. He did that solo after he finished his long, deep in space journey sort of guitar solo. I want effects pedals for my guitar so I can do that stuff. Man, if I could create those kind of sounds with my guitar, oh, I'd be flying. But not yet. I still have to save money for more musical equipment as I sort of expand, and it definitely encourages me to continue to learn my theory and learn new scales for the guitar and everything else in between, and just begin songwriting. But yeah, it is inspiration. And the number one thing to remember about Queen is not all their songs are the same. They're such a diverse band. Brian May did Love of My Life. It was a really slow, emotional, beautiful, like ballad that Freddie and Brian had written. And it was just nice and slow, and people put their phone lights in the air, and Brian said, this is amazing. I love seeing all your phone lights. It's like and then he said, what did he say next? He said, oh, it's, the only thing the smartphone is useful for these days. And, like, again, I'll go back to Adam Lambert. He is not Freddie, as I said before, but he doesn't need to be. He is Adam Lambert, and that's what we want. I want to see Adam. I don't come there to see, because Freddie's gone now, sadly. He died 8 years before I was born. I've never get to experience a Freddie Mercury concert, sadly, because he's gone now. But Adam Lambert, I got to experience him, and Adam Lambert is amazing. Like, he is fantastic. I don't know why, people expect to see Freddie. No, I came to a Queen concert to see Adam Lambert because I know that Freddie's gone now. So I go there to see Adam Lambert. And I would go, like, if Adam Lambert was in Adelaide, I'd go to see him any day of the week. He's just fantastic. He has the same amount of energy that he delivers to his songs that Freddie did. I remember my friend Aaron's sister, who I ran into multiple times on that day, because all of us were just going. But, yeah, she was like, no, he doesn't have as much energy as Freddie. Wrong. Adam Lambert has some of the most insane energy I've ever seen of any vocalist. Delivers it when it's needed. It's just brilliant. Roger Taylor did a nice drum solo. He's a drummer. I'm not really into drumming, but so I can't really sort of tell if he's an amazing drummer or whatever. But as far as I'm aware, Roger Taylor was good, and it's just great. The other thing as well is it's great to make visual contact with these people, especially when you've really sort of grown very much attached to the band itself as time has gone on since I've watched Bohemian Rhapsody. To make visual contact with Brian May, although he was a little figure in the very center of the room, and I could see him up on the screen, but at least the visual contact to sort of actually see him in person was also pretty amazing. And oh my god, the crowd interaction, it's just amazing. It reminded me of the old Queen concerts, and that's the thing. This was Queen. It was not Queen and Adam Lambert. It was just Queen. I don't know why Adam Lambert is considered separate from the band. Like, it's Queen and Adam Lambert. No, I think it's just Queen all round. And you can go back and watch videos of Freddie Mercury singing Radio Gaga, see everyone's hands raised in the air and clap. That's what happened on this night, and it felt like I was at a Queen concert. Freddie wasn't there, but it was definitely a Queen concert through and through, and I got to experience Queen. It was just, I'm sorry, it was Queen through and through. Even if it had Adam Lambert, it wasn't Freddie Mercury, but it was still Queen. With the Radio Gaga, everyone clapped their hands together. And the whole We Will Rock You, stomp, stomp, clap. The whole crowd was doing it, and it was just amazing. I felt like I was at a Queen concert, because that's where I was. And it's amazing that even though they lost Freddie, they can still do this. They can still maintain the way that Queen were way back in the 80s, they can still hold concerts like that and be the most amazing band I've ever seen. Adam Lambert also did something particularly interesting where he got up on a bike during bicycle race. That was good, utilizing props to sort of make your performance that much better. And it's these aspects of any performance that this is what I expect to see of a performance. Something theatrical, where if something creative, if you can think of a prop that you can use it, be unique, don't just get up there and play songs. You know what you should be doing? If you've got a song about something stupid like a boat, why not have a boat appear on stage or something, like a little raft, sort of come out on stage or something, be creative, God forbid you try. But, that's what Queen, in my opinion, represents. It doesn't just represent a band that can get up and play songs. It represents a band that can get up and play songs in style. And just these fantastic things and, theatrical, amazing stuff. And that is why Queen wants to work with Adam Lambert, because he brings that same level of theatricalism that Freddie brought to the band. Plus, he's the only person that, he's that gift from God, as Brian May describes it, that Queen are willing to work with. Oh, the other thing I noticed as well, there was no, Queen were not just headlining, Queen, it was just Queen. There was no other bands there. Nobody was headlining. There was no bands that came before Queen or anything like that. It was just Queen. Queen got up, played, and left. There was that. There was no, I remember my sister told me a story where she went to go see Justin Bieber, and there was a bunch of not headliners, sorry, a bunch of people that went up before Justin Bieber, and she left. She couldn't even be bothered because Justin Bieber never even came out on stage. But yeah, it was just Queen, nothing else. Literally just Queen got up on stage. Now, I want to say that this is definitely an experience that I will never, ever forget. We still have Queen. We didn't lose Queen even though we lost Freddie. We still have Queen, so... But anyway, I think I've rambled on long enough. It's an amazing concert, and it's probably like a 9 out of 10, except for the crowds and everything. That was extremely stressful. But, yeah, that's it from me, and, goodbye, I guess.